Hi guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Lateef Saka, and if you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, switch on your notifications, and follow me on my journey. So pretty high level, this is going to be a quick one for me, and this is more of a reaction to a popular TikTok video I saw, as well as comments that I've been receiving both on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. By the way, if you are not, please do make sure to follow me on Instagram, where I post, some really interesting stuff about products in real time, so you don't have to wait for me and my lazy self to make a video. But yeah, look, high level, what it was, are AHAs bad for black skin? And the short answer is no. I think it's extremely disingenuous and misleading to kind of promote that information. I think as a community, the black community is very, in fact, hyper aware that the beauty industry does not necessarily take us into consideration. So as a result, people are sometimes extremely cautious with what they place on their skin. And sometimes, when we get these rumors, a lot of people, they don't take it with like a pinch of salt. They absolutely take it. And I think that, to just start saying that AHAs are bad for black skin is just factually incorrect. I think if you are a YouTuber, skincare person, dermatologist, esthetician, you have the responsibility to actually make sure that the information that you are putting out is factual. Like don't stop people from potentially getting their glow and fixing their issues. Like any active ingredient, like retinol, BHAs, kojic acid, to name a few, anything can cause damage to your skin. It's all about moderation and ensuring that, this ingredient is being used correctly. So I guess let's start from the beginning and let's debunk this myth. So AHAs at like extremely, high level are essentially a kind of water soluble acid, and essentially they're usually extracted from sugary fruits or food, and what they do is they essentially get rid of the dead skin cells on your face, or kind of break the glue that binds the oil and the dead skin cells together. And essentially what you get is this kind of new fresh skin. Like really, it just kind of speeds up the cell regeneration process, which, as you can imagine, has a multitude of benefits. This is good for fine lines, this is good for wrinkles, this is good for acne, this is also good for helping control your oil production, and it's also good for hyperpigmentation, right? And it can also have some lightening effects depending on like what kind of AHAs you're using and how they're formulated. So why do people think they're bad? So generally speaking, AHAs, and as I've said with other active ingredients, if used incorrectly and not introduced to your skin correctly in terms of how introduce it to your skincare routine, can irritate your skin and result in dryness, irritation, breakouts, right? And even hyperpigmentation. And I think it's the hyperpigmentation point where people have kind of tried to make this link between hyperpigmentation and black skin, because of course hyperpigmentation is something that is predominantly seen in black skin types, not as much in other races. So I think that's exactly where that link comes from. And the biggest issue with AHAs really lies with people not knowing how to use them correctly or people overusing them. So from my personal perspective, there's no reason for you to be using an AHA daily. Now, of course, there may be some exceptions. Maybe if you have, oily skin or acne skin, but you should really be getting that advice from a professional. Secondly is the way how people start using them. So when introducing AHAs, again, with any other active ingredient, you should really be introducing them to your skin routine once or twice a week and kind of slowly allowing your skin to build up that tolerance to it. Second thing is the concentration. Now, a lot of people see 20% and they're like, whoa, I'm going to get 20%. But what is that 20% relative of? That's what I want people to think about. When you see 20%, this isn't like 20% out of 100. This is like, 20%. Like, what is that relative to? And it's extremely important that people take a step back and have a think about this, because you have some of the same products that are, have been optimally stabilized at 5-10% and work perfectly well. So I think it's extremely important that people think about that. A lot of people want to get these kind of high grade professional concentrated products, but they don't know how to use them. If you don't know how to use something and you're kind of new to the skincare game, take a step back. It's okay not to know everything, especially when your skin is involved. Start small, and if your skin can handle it, then you could start looking at kind of upping the frequency, upping the concentration. But until then, don't think about it. So when we think about AHAs, they're like on a spectrum, just like with anything. And I think when we think about the strongest, in my opinion, the strongest AHA would be glycolic acid. And this is simply because it has a smaller molecular structure, meaning that it could penetrate the skin deeper and provide faster results. Now, when you do not use something like this correctly, of course, the damage it can have will be bigger, especially if you have sensitive skin. And this is why on the other side, you have AHAs such as mandelic acid, which have the largest molecular structure and often considered the most gentle AHAs out of all the AHAs. And although it may provide, slower results, it's definitely one that you know that you'll be 100% safe with. So, two things that you really want to do when using AHAs, aside from what I've mentioned about ensuring that you introduce them to your skin care routine slowly and making sure you're picking the right concentration, is wear sunscreen. So big shout out to Makeup for Women of Color on Twitter, Tiara, who has successfully bullied a lot of people into wearing sunscreen. And it's important because you guys need to do it, especially like Black people. I think there's this kind of myth that we don't, but it can cause issues. But what's really important is that, if you don't wear the sunscreen, it can lead to a multitude of issues, especially if you're using AHAs. It increases your sensitivity to the sun. And where you already have existing problems, what you may see is that there's no change, or you can actually see more issues, especially with discoloration, hyperpigmentation, as well as damaging your skin barrier. I really highly recommend following Makeup for Women of Color on Twitter and also on Instagram. It's always an open dialogue, and as you could tell from her name, she's about providing insight for people of color, specifically Black women, and she's a licensed esthetician in the US. So I'm going to be honest with you, every time I go into a page, there's always open dialogue and there's always something to be learned. So again, if you want to get some factual stuff and skincare backed by science, give her a follow. Second thing, and I think a lot of people actually know this, but just to kind of reiterate, because someone asked me this, is ensuring that you are not using an AHA and then also physically exfoliating. Your skin cannot handle both a physical and chemical exfoliant. The fact, like, no one's skin can handle that personally, and what you'll find is that it leads to irritation, breakouts, micro tears. So again, that's something that you shouldn't do. And again, I think this is why we say that AHAs are not bad for you. It's really that a lot of people do things that they shouldn't be doing with AHAs. So I guess to conclude, what I'm trying to say here is that are AHAs bad for Black skin, or any skin for that matter? No. If you use them incorrectly, and you don't introduce them to your skin routine properly, will you run into issues? Most likely. If you are someone with sensitive skin, you may be better off using something like a mandelic acid or a lactic acid. And if you're someone with not sensitive skin, you may want to, go up on the far end and use a glycolic acid. So some of the products that I've used before that have been quite good for me, the Mandelic Pigmentation Night Cream serum from Allies of Skin, the AHA BHA pill, which has glycolic acid as well as some BHAs in there as well, from The Ordinary. There's the Mandelic acid from The Ordinary as well. There's the AHA BHA 30-Day Miracle Serum, which can be found on Skin Library. There's Good Genes from Sunday Riley. What else is there? There's a squalene and lactic nighttime serum, resurfacing serum, I think, from Bioessence. There is this alpha beta cleansing gel from Dr. Dennis Gross. So there's like a wide range of them. I'll put them all down in the description. But you know, there's loads of things out there, and the most important thing that I say to you guys is do your research, keep informed. And you know, if someone tells you something and you see a trend, please use Google. Use skincare backed by science, not by TikTok. Although some of them on TikTok may be good, but please just kind of be proactive in your research. So anyway, look, that was a quick one from me. If you are not subscribing, please do subscribe, hit up the notification buttons and follow me on my journey. And enjoy the rest of your day, guys.